I was wrong in the video where I talked about this. I didn't realize that this was actually 14 karat. Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, what I like to do is to create videos that I would have found helpful when I first got out looking for treasure. Today is a package off of eBay, and for my regular viewers, you know I often forget how much I pay for these things, but I looked it up right before I started this video. It was $25.19 after shipping. So hopefully the gold that I thought might be in here is in here, and we would have gotten our money's worth. So I like these Freemason lots when you find them because they usually have a lot of stuff. And any kind of category of collecting that goes way, way back is better because there's just more of it. And the further back you go, the more likely whatever it is that you are buying is likely to be gold for a couple reasons. One, it used to be that you would spend a little bit more money on some of these buttons, potentially. And second reason is that if it's gold, it's just more likely to have lasted. People will have hung on to it because, hey, that's gold. That's Grandpa's gold pin. This one's kind of interesting. I'm not sure. I feel like I should know what's going on with this. It looks like it's like a tread for a tank or a bulldozer or something with a cat eating it. That is interesting. I know. Well, let me make it very clear so that we can Google Lens that and see if we can figure out what that is, but it's an interesting thing. Okay, let's have a quick look through any other interesting things here. A couple things to note with some of this old Mason stuff. And actually, I can sort of show you. Oh, I don't have it handy. Ah, yeah, I'll show you something. So sometimes with these tie clips, and this one's smashed, boy, is it smashed. The tie clip itself won't be gold, or even gold fill sometimes, but the little pieces can be. So you want to double check. In fact, I have in here, this is my little gold hoard from all the gold we've found lately. Let me fish out. Yeah, so this, now this is a little bit more of a modern. This is a 10-year Safeway grocery store badge, but you can see I pried it off just with a little chisel, but it's 10 karat gold. And that was on something like this. You might have already seen that video. If not, go back through my videos, you'll find it. Maybe I'll put a little pip there if I can figure out how to do it back to that video. So you always want to double check these just to sort of see, are we looking at gold emblems? And they don't look, well, we will test these two. They have the look of possibility to me. That kind of cast finish on the back can sometimes happen with gold. This waffle look, I don't think I've ever seen. We can also just check with the magnet. Yeah, so those aren't, you see we got a spring right there. And this piece is certainly, but we can easily gold test the tops of these and see what's going on. So we'll do that by the end of this video. A lot of these newer pins, you know, there's just no chance of them being anything. Just these new enamel pins are usually made in China. So we'll set those aside. Here we can see this one's going to be very cheap and not. Now, these are often gold and silver, but not with stones that are glued in that have fallen out. That's just one of the rhinestone variety. Let's see here what else we got. That, I think, is our gold. We'll have a close look at that here in a second. You don't want to discount pins like this. You might think, oh, that's just enamel. But you never quite know. They're always worth a double check. Although I think this one, given that finish on the back, is going to be, yep. It is surprising to me how often things that I didn't think were gold actually end up being gold. It definitely happens. This set, I don't think so, but we'll have a look-see. So with these too, sometimes what'll happen is like the little emblem down there will be gold, whereas the rest of it won't be. Yeah, we definitely just have plated here. Hanson. Now, the problem is you have to kind of destroy it to check it. So we can just look real close and we'll see. I think this is maybe just a little plate on the front. Kind of has that look. Let's see how there's like a line right there. One material, two material. So there's probably like a very thin layer of gold just on the top surface. So these are probably something that we should just preserve as is. There's probably a very small amount of gold in it. And I suppose with as high as gold has gotten, somebody might want to actually like pry it off on something like this. But I feel like they're probably worth a little bit more as, you know, a cufflink set. Okay, so let's have a look at this. This is why I paid 25 bucks for it. Well, that, and you know, one of the things I'll do is if I'm late night winding down from the kids on eBay, I'll just throw bids sometimes on things or offers. And then sometimes when they say yes, it's like, okay, the fate's decided. I'm going to find out if that's gold. And the answer is yes, this is gold. We'll test it. It's probably going to be 10 karat gold. Maybe, oh, wait a minute. Oh, we don't even need to test it, do we? Look at that, right there. What does it say? Can my camera do it? We have some kind of hallmark there, don't we? Let me check it with the loop. I cannot decipher that mark. It's some kind of hallmark, but I can't figure out what it means. Now, the reason I say this is gold, though, is you can see it's all one piece. And it's got that nice little fine micro scratching. See how it kind of like glitters and glistens, which you get with old scratched up gold. And then most importantly, it's hand carved. You see these deep carvings in here? They're dirty, but all of this was hand carved by someone. All of this was hand carved by someone. So, and then also, like, if a piece like this is cast, you know, the interior will usually be a little bit rough. Here, it looks very much like somebody put a lot of effort into it. Now, the next thing we want to check is that while the face is definitely gold, you can see that it's carved down. Is it a very thick gold fill? And I think the answer is probably no. If it is gold fill, we'd be able to see on the inside there another material. And it looks like it's dirty in there and not polished, but I think it's the same all the way through. Potentially. it almost looks like there is... Is there a line there? No. I think it's just dirty. I think this side just got more polished during production, and it didn't get the same kind of polish on the inside there. And that's what we're seeing. Okay, let me go test this. Could be 14, guessing 10. And we'll test this guy and this guy. This one, there's no hope for, but we'll test those two. I don't think this is going to be gold. I think this is our gold out of this set. And I'm actually pretty certain this is gold. So we'll see how much gold we got for our 25 bucks in just a moment. And we're back. 10 carat. Very, very good 10 carat on the acid. 14 carat makes it go away. So we're definitely solid 10 carat there. Not gold. Very much not gold. Which is to be expected. So out of this lot, I think I'm pretty happy. We'll check to see how good I did technically, but this pin is very cool, and this is gold. So we like gold. How much gold? $2.37 grams for 25 bucks. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm not sure what gold's up to these days. It just, every time I look, we're in the middle of a serious gold run. So I know that's quite a bit more than 25 bucks though. So we did pretty good on this particular little one. Let's throw that in the gold. I need to sort the gold, don't I? Yeah, so with that, I guess this is going to be a fairly short little video, unless, should we include some plunder in this video? I feel like maybe we should include some plunder. Why don't I go grab some? Now, for my regulars, you probably know what I mean by plunder. It's just stuff I get at thrift shops and garage sales. But for those that are new, I'm always, I grab stuff off of eBay, but I also like to grab stuff at garage sales and thrift shops. So sometimes when I do that, I will, I'll make videos just on the plunder, but I have a few things to grab right now, and we can talk about them too and why I bought them. All right, let's have a look at some plunder, shall we? So one of the things that I do in addition to eBay is I'm always at thrift shops and garage sales. I'm looking at them for a couple different reasons. One of the biggest ones is just, I was just trying to stay ahead of my kids' clothes. So I'll grab stuff like this, out of a broken bin. It's just, cost me 50 cents, and it's silver with pearls. Now it's busted, but you know what? It's still silver with pearls, and it cost me 50 cents. When I find pearl necklaces with that are on silver, I'll just grab them. This one was $3, and it's dainty, it's cute. I think it's worth $3 for sure. Silver rings. Sometimes these things end up in like a budget bin. In this particular case, I think it ended up in the budget bin because it's fake. And I don't know, is it? I honestly haven't looked close at this one. But so this color is, I think, why it's in there. Now the question is that color something that will just rub off? Is that just tarnish? What do you folks think? I think it might just be tarnish. Because all the rest of this tarnish looks pretty good. And we're marked as 925. But I think that weird brown orange tarnish, which looked like it was, yeah, it's coming up. So if plating is present and that orange color you see is because of plating, just like rubbing it with your thumb like that will make it just worse. In this case, since it makes it better, we can tell that it's tarnish, and that was just a little 50-cent silver ring. Speaking of 50-cent rings, it's just brass. It's just fun. I had to come home with it. I thought it was crazy and fun, and I think my kids will love it as a treasure. Cheap cheap earrings. I think those were probably $1. I don't think I paid very much for them. They were at a thrift shop, just in a like 50-cent bin. 50 cents each, and then I found that there was a pair when I got to looking. I paid a couple bucks for this because these are Montana agates, and these are the kinds of dendritic, what they call moss. These little inclusions here are very, very beautiful. So if you've been watching any of my agate videos, and there should be one, I'm not sure when I'll post this video, but there should be one upcoming or already out about me on the Yellowstone River, and that's basically where these come from. So let's see. That was I think they call this intaglio. It's not a cameo. Cameos actually are, this is carved in, and it's not an expensive one, but I thought it was nice for the $1 it cost. If you watch my shorts, you'll recognize a real treasure, 1937 Mercury dime. And this is the first bit of silver that my son found on his own. My children always check the Coinstar machines, and this happened to be in there. It's also the first time I've ever seen silver in a Coinstar machine, so I thought that was pretty fun. We'll finish out with this. This is kind of an important object, and I want to spend a couple minutes on it. This is probably one of the more valuable bits of information you'll get out of this video. These maybe two. So I was just taking, in fact, I'm about to just take a load of really trashed out silver plate dishes to the scrapper. And that neighbor that if you've watched my videos, I was helping a neighbor with some of their silver plate. They were throwing away their silver plate, and I was pulling out silver from it. They asked me to bring what remained to the scrapper for them, and these were sitting in there. Now, I don't know if I missed these. I have to go back and review my videos, but I don't think I would have missed these, in particular because there you are, 900. So 900 silver, and then this one is 900 silver. So it's 90% silver. I haven't figured out where they were made yet, but what immediately caught my eye is that these are all hand engravings. They're also delightful, and I am going to very much enjoy getting these cleaned up and put into some form of use. And I am guessing they don't seem to be the same engraver, so they must be a thing from somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. I'm sure as soon as I Google it, I'll find out. It looks like there's a set of motifs that are standard. We have a mouse. Well, maybe the mouse. Fish. Do we have a fish on this one? No. In any case, I thought that they were delightful and absolutely worth saving from the scrapper. Now, the most important thing, and I'm going to talk about here, is this. And I was wrong in the video where I talked about this. And you always want to take a second look at things. Now, in the video where we talked about the quote-unquote costume jewelry that was from the neighbor, they didn't want any of it. In the end, I just gave them a fair bit of money, a very fair amount. I got an okay deal, but it was a lot more than I would ever spend on things, because they just wanted to be done with everything, and they were kind of out of time to make things happen. So I didn't realize that this was actually 14 karat. And the reason I thought that this was gold fill was, well, for two reasons. One, this is gold fill, and you can tell because when you look real close at it, where was it? Somewhere on here, yeah, you can see where you're getting through the outer plating there, and there was another spot. But yeah, so This piece is definitely gold fill. Now, it's awesome. And if you've never seen how these work, they're just so cool. This whole thing is threaded. And you just unthread it to that point. And then it opens up. And you put your watch on there. Oh, there we go. See right there? Oh, no, that's not it. But in through there, I think there's places where we can see. I thought there was, yeah, right there. There's places you can see that there's something underneath the gold on this guy. This guy isn't just gold. So in the video, I thought this was gold fill for this reason. And because of this strangeness on the other end. Do you see how there's a line? And I assumed that that meant that this was gold fill, that there's a line running all the way through it. Now, I then, when I had a lot more time with it, because I thought that I was going to be handing all the stuff back. I was just going to make that video, hand all the stuff back. I didn't think I would have more time with it. But once I had more time with it and then I could actually look through it, what I started to look at was the links. And in particular, because this is old, where they wear. See right here where we've got wear. And I looked closer at ones, like, see, that one's worn less. But some of them, if we keep going here, we'll see they're pretty worn. Like you're starting to get down to a scarcity of material on some of these, like that one right there. You know, we're definitely at a place where this thing has gotten rubbed to, there we go. Now, if that were gold fill, that would have been rubbed to the point where we were getting down to the gold fill. So when I saw this, I'm like, well, maybe the chain itself isn't gold fill and the ends are gold fill. So I tested at this weakest point, basically, and it tested out as 14 karat. So the chain definitely is 14 karat. And this certain is fill. And in fact, on the XRF machine, where I managed to sneak in and get a little use of that, this one was not coming up as good 14 karat. This one was coming up as plate. However, the other end here came up as 14 karat. And the interesting thing was, it came up as 14 karat even repeatedly on this line that runs, well, just on that side? No. Yeah, there it is. There you can see this line. And I don't know what that is. Now, there are no markings on this, but you can also see like the carving on the end there is the same as the carving on the chains. And I can't for the life of me find any markings. I'm not sure what the age of this is, but given the wear of the chain, I'm thinking it's been around a while. And yeah, it's here's the other thing about this that's worth noting is, so this is 14 karat, and gold's going wild right now. I don't know what it's at, but you know, we're at 46 grams if you discount the gold fill bit there. That's a lot of gold, like a lot of gold. So I want to say two things. Definitely double check your watch chains, see if they are gold. Yeah, they are. It's cool. It's definitely a favorite object of mine now. I love it very much. But with that, I think what we'll do is we'll finish out this video. Little combo here, a little bit of Plunder. A little bit of we're gonna need that in there, aren't we? A little bit of Plunder, a little bit of eBay. If you're new to my channel, these are the two things that are sort of mainstays of my channel, and the big reason for that is that they're a little easier for me to do. I have small children, and even if I end up finding myself with a little bit of time, I tend to be a little bit sapped. So these types of videos are very straightforward for me to accomplish, and I enjoy them. If you enjoy them too, hey, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, share it around. But most importantly, I hope you've learned something that you can use to go out and find yourself some treasure.
Like this, I've been Thomas.